Welcome. Don't adjust your dial. Welcome everyone to the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. I'm your host Michael Pickering. That's right. Lo-fi as in low fidelity, low quality, in your face, messy as can be, global news show. Here we're going to talk about that famous question, what's going on in the world today? And we're coming at you with that lo-fi global news. Source, BBC News, Europe section. France fines Congo activists for seizing Paris Museum artifact. We brought you word of this story a few weeks ago, and now the French courts have made their decisions and fined the Congolese activist that was demonstrating the point that France stole this artifact, though he was not stealing it himself. The courts fined him 1,000 euros and said it was done to discourage similar stunts. The charge? Aggravated robbery. First off, there's robbery and not robbery. Robbery means you steal something. Not robbery means you didn't steal something. This was a case of not robbery. What this bullshit charge of aggravated robbery really means, I don't know. Just sounds like legal shenanigans to me. If you were serious about not wanting similar instances like this to take place, perhaps you would ramp up that program of returning artifacts, instead of sitting on your hands since 2018. But hey, what does Lofi Poli Sci really know about what's going on in the world today? I'm not sure. Next up, source, AP News International. G20 suspends poor nations' debt payments for 6 months. Okay, let's break this down. What's G20? It's a group of the 20 most wealthiest countries in the world with basically the largest economies. What debt payments are they talking about here? Well, lots of developing countries take out major loans in order to help their countries run better and improve life. And those loans largely come from these developed countries in the G20. And just how many countries are getting this 6-month extension on loan repayments? 46. 46 countries are getting loan repayment postponements. And you may say, well, 46 out of almost 200 countries in the world? That's a lot. That's almost 25% of the world. And you would be correct. I would add to that some knowledge. About 60% of the world are developing. This is helping out maybe 1/3 of all the developing countries. So yes, it's a start. But there's still much work to be done. Now, moving forward, because we never move on from anything. Source, Reuters World News. European Union to help Mozambique tackle insurgency, statement. Mozambique for about 3 years now has been suffering attacks from a group connected to ISIS, and have asked for help fighting that group from the EU, which the EU has now agreed to provide assistance dealing with the violence. At different points in the past 3 years, the group has attacked military targets, as well as taken over several towns for different lengths of time. But to be clear, this does not include European military forces. The EU is not sending troops to Mozambique. The aid will come in the form of logistics, training for technical areas, humanitarian aid, and medical aid. This is a story, though, we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on and keep you updated as we know more for sure. And our following story comes from the BBC, Asia section, and is an update to our continuing coverage of the pro-democracy protest in Thailand. Thai protest, large gatherings banned under emergency decree. 3 of the leaders of the protest have been arrested, and the emergency decree bans all large gatherings in Bangkok. What this means is no matter whether protesters are gathering peacefully or even in smaller numbers, authorities can arrest them and use the term large to arbitrarily mean whatever they want it to mean. This is the government trying to end the protest once and for all. Keep your eyes and ears open to this one, Lo-Fi Nation, and let me know what you think. Does this mark the end of the pro-democracy movement in Thailand for now? Send me your thoughts. And a last piece of news to send you on your way for the day. Source, AP News International. Russian-U.S. crew welcomed aboard the space station. That's right, even though the world is always pointing fingers and blaming Russia for everything, no one seems to mind hitching a ride with them to space, as 2 cosmonauts and 1 U.S. astronaut set a new record in space travel. From blast-off to docking, they made it from Earth to the International Space Station in just 3 hours. 3 hours? Do you know, I have a driving rule that I don't go on road trips that are over 5 hours. Driving takes forever. And these 3 fly from Kazakhstan to the space station in 3 hours? Simply amazing. And I want that kind of speed travel immediately, please. Well, I suppose I can wait 1 year, but not much longer than that. We would like to see lunar Lofi Poli Sci sometime this century. And that's a brief snapshot of what's going on in the world today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Good News Friday. Always remember that Lofi Poli Sci is more than just me. It's the we that we be. Write in with questions or comments to lofipolisci@planetmail.com. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Wash those hands. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Lofi Poli Sci podcast. Pickering, signing off.